My name's Mac Mackenney. I'm from England, currently living in Surrey. Former British Army helicopter mechanic, trainee RAF fighter pilot and African expedition leader. And Sir Ranulph Fiennes gave me a ring in July of last year, saying that he seemed to be the ideal chap to get involved with this project. So here I am. When I was a trainee fighter pilot, it came to a stage where I didn't make the grade and there was no option to become a helicopter or transport pilot. The Royal Air Force gave me a ground job and I said no thanks. So I went off to Africa as an expedition leader. The pay was only 1/10 of what I was earning in the Air Force, but there was travel, there was adventures, excitement. But it wasn't that adventurous and it wasn't that challenging. So I did it for about a year, then came back to the United Kingdom and put my name down on a list with the Royal Geographic Society, and saying that I was available for expeditions as a mechanic, driver, dog's body, whatever. And that was in the region of 3 years ago now. So some 2 years after putting my name on this computer list, Sir Ranulph Fiennes phoned me up completely out of the blue and said, "I've seen your CV, you seem to have the sort of credentials and background and enthusiasm for a project I'm going to be doing. Would you care to come along for the selections in Snowdonia?" So I went off, I think there were about 10 of us, for a weekend, and Oliver Shepherd, who accompanied Sir Ranulph Fiennes on his trans-global trip, ran the weekend selection, and Steve Signal has been selected as first mechanic to accompany the 2 Land Rover mechanics, and I've been selected as first reserve. But having done some work with a reconnaissance in Ireland, and doing a fairly good job with that, he said, "How would you like to come out here and run the logistical side of things, run the base camp, and various other tasks?" So I just jumped at it. So here I am. I'm looking for adventure, excitement, but most of all a challenge. If something hasn't been done before, and this is particularly with this attempt, it's a first ever attempt in human history, then that is what attracts me. It's the challenge to overcome the most difficult odds, which I'm sure will be encountered. Logistical problems, climatic problems, mechanical problems, human physical problems. There's a whole range of things that have to be overcome with this project, and you put them all together and there's one big task, and if it's successful, then it's something that you can tell your grandchildren about. I've never been one for accepting that you just do a 9-to-5 job and that's life. You've got one shot on this planet and you've got to make the most of it. So I've been a helicopter mechanic in the British Army, I was a trainee fighter pilot in the Royal Air Force, I was an expedition leader in Africa. It's things that give you a buzz, give you a kick, you've got to sweat and graft for it, but at the end of the day you get a great sense of achievement with whatever you do, and it's things that are out of the ordinary that I go for, and that's what it's all about. I'm currently what's called the field base leader. Basically I'm the mother for these guys, look after them, wake them up in the morning, make their breakfast, lunch and dinner, clean up after them, and scream and shout if they don't keep the place tidy. As well as that, I assist with any mechanical work, building of the pontoon assembly, loading and unloading of it, any forward reconnaissance type jobs that are required. Basically a jack of all trades at the moment. On the expedition I'll be involved with the logistical side of it. As you can imagine, you've got 3 vehicles completing the whole trip. They're going to require fuel, spares, the personnel will require accommodation, food, water, any medical backup. There's a whole range of requirements that those three vehicles and the team of 6 will require. You also have the 3 pontoons. Now they have to be assured that they get to the crossing point for the Irish Sea crossing. They've then got to be moved down for the English Channel crossing. And the most difficult part is to get them into Russia, to Laurentia, to negotiate the Bering Straits crossing. Well, with that you have to arrange transport, whether it be by sea, by land, or particularly for Russia we'll be using Hercules C-130 transport aircraft. If we can't get sponsorship for this, we have to get the best deal. we have to get the timings right, we've got to get crews out, we've got to get equipment out, and that's going to take an awful big task, and I've managed to get the job for it. So I've got my work cut out when I get back to England. I can't wait to get started.